Hi all, Phil here. Before the episode starts, I just want to apologise. We had many gremlins tonight with Zoom, so I've edited a lot of stuff out if it doesn't look correct on YouTube or doesn't sound right on the podcast. Also, Zoom upset me quite a lot because I do pay for it, so I've edited out a lot of moans from me so you can enjoy the podcast for what it's about, Halloween Horror Nights. But for now, let's get into this episode, everyone. Be epic. Hi all, welcome back to Epic Haunts. We took a week sabbatical. The truth is, Simon kidnapped me and Gaz, and I've been let out the dungeon for being a very good boy, apparently. Yeah. Take it where you want. Anyway, I can't do this on my own, so yet again, I have Mr. Florida himself, Simon.
Well, I don't think I've ever been called Mr. Florida before, but yeah, I'll take it.
I told you I'm trying to figure a different one every week like that. So, many of you know that I did tweet out we were going to do it about Hallow Scream as well in this episode. Well, we're not, because there is so much to go through with Halloween Horror Nights 31 from Orlando, Florida, that we decided just make them and split them apart as two different episodes. So you may get two in 1 week if you're lucky. So, people, pretty much. By the way, before we get into this, how you been?
Not been too bad. I've working as usual, paying for this trip to the wonderful United States in 3 weeks.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's only 3 weeks away, isn't it? Yes, people, just to let you know as well. I did something. I've booked one night at Cabana Bay. Why Cabana Bay? You're thinking, what's the point of it? He's at Aventura, Gaz is at Cabana Bay. So I said we've actually got the scare actors dining that night as well. So I'm going to do that. 3 houses. Come back with Simon and that to the hotel. Is it Swizzle Lounge?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's going to be in the Cabana Bay bit.
Yeah. So we're going to have a few drinks there, and then maybe we will return to Halloween Horror Nights how we're feeling. Of course, if we feel like we want to drink more, we'll be staying at the lounge. But I don't want to be traveling all the way back to Surfside. Just in case I'm a bit, drunk. It's not nice. So I thought it'd be easier if I just have a hotel room to myself.
Yeah.
So that is the only change for me. But there's been plenty of changes with Halloween Horror Nights. So, Simon, let's get into this.
Yeah, so technically we had 6 house reveal, 5 scare zones and 2 houses. But what we'll do, I think, just do it as a full reveal. Be easier, won't it?
Yeah, it's
because everything's there or thereabouts now. So we won't talk about too much about the ones that we've already talked about, but we'll just let you know what is coming through. The pictures are going to be a bit weird. So we'll just start showing now. So if you're watching this.
Again, people, if you're listening, go on to YouTube to watch this, and you can see all the photos and videos we have on it. Yeah. Also, I am going to sneak in the trailer somewhere as a point. Yes, go on, Simon. Plug my group.
Well, it just seems to happen to fall onto that one. Yeah, it's going to be like a mini group for the unofficial. Was it Endless Summer?
Endless Summer is all unofficial group.
Yeah, all going to meet between 8 and 9 on Saturday the 17th. Hawaiian shirts, if possible. If you don't matter. We're all just going to have a quick meet up, get a photo outside on where the Endless Summer sign is, and just meet up and say hello to everyone. So if you can make it, great. If you can't, don't worry. Phill did say if you want to get your picture in, he will send a picture to him and he'll put a border up somewhere in the group. So anyway, let's move on to what we are actually here for.
Yes,
So
that's an exciting moment.
we have got 10 mind-ripping Halloween haunted houses. My speaking is going to be terrible today. I just had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and it is a double one. I only asked for a single shot, so I'm a little bit hype.
I'm hearing excuses.
But like I said, we know we've got 10 houses. They're not going to be in release order on these because we just screenshotted the pictures. And so the first house that pops up is one of the new ones that was released this week, Spirits of the Coven. So we have they're bewitchingly terrifying. Some of these words are really difficult to speak.
Do you know what? I'm going to put a swear in. I actually thought the first time I saw it, they're bitching. For all God, Universal's going for it this year.
Yeah. So a coven of beautiful flapper. I can't see why. Why would you use a word like that?
A coven of beautiful flapper witches will lure you into their 1920 speakeasy, reveal their haggish true form, and turn your scream squad into a witch brew. They will be cackling, you'll be screaming. Being from England, Tom, can you tell me what a speakeasy is?
Speakeasy is when during the Prohibition, when alcohol was banned in the United States, these were little bars, pubs that opened up behind the scenes so you couldn't see them.
Right.
I don't.
Because speakeasy to me is something you would have at school. I thought that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I've just been looking at I'm currently on the actual official web press release, and it's exactly the same. So there's nothing different. But I'll just pause on this one a minute. If you do want to find out more about these houses, go and listen to the official Universal podcast, Discover Universal, I think it's called. Yeah. Part 2 of the reveal, and they give you masses of information about these houses. Yes, there's spoilers in it, but it is worth. Yeah, they're not, but it is worth if you want to know kind of what you're going to be getting into. It's listening to that podcast has definitely made me sort my hype list out, because my hype list was going to be really hard to do, but after listening to that, it's given me a good idea of what I want. So what you want, what you really, really want. Yeah, you can leave that 90s reference of them. Yeah. Anyway,
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Oh,
I really, really, really want to sing a second. Now, my singing's scary enough, so this goes well, this podcast. Simon, I'm sorry, people, if you're not watching, Simon's just lost the will to talk.
I'm just going, bye.
We'll
move on. So we've got what's already been announced, Universal Monsters Legends Collide. We've already spoke about this one in the past episode, so if you want to know what our thoughts are on this one, go back a couple. Horrors of Blumhouse, which is two films in one, Freaky and The Black Phone. Going to be one house, one of the films, and then you can move into the other film. Mashup houses. Classic Halloween. Already spoke about all these. So what we'll do, we'll skip all these because we'll get to the ones that we're on about. Did we speak about The Weekend? We did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was the last episode. Big draw. This, I think it's going to be a very big draw for the. Fans.
Yeah, I think this is going to bring the new generation of fans in. The ones who thought this event's not worth doing, they're coming just for the weekend, and they're going to get blown away by the whole event, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know if Phil's put the trailer in earlier or this one, but the final trailer reveal does tie in with all the trailers have done. It's quite a good little trailer.
So what I'll do here, guys, is I'll drop it right here.
We gotta move fast. We're gonna get to all the haunted houses tonight. Food first, then monsters.
Monsters? Guys, relax. None of this is real.
You did not just get pizza fries on my jacket. I'm out.
Guys?
actually enjoy this.
I love this.
Seriously? They not real. Okay, that's definitely not real.
Best house yet. Oh, awesome.
Step into the horror classic, Halloween. The Weekend. After Hours Nightmare. And more. Summon your Scream Squad to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
There you go. See what I'm saying, guys? We're actually kind of everything ties in together, which I'm actually enjoying this year. I'm actually enjoying that everything's being tied together. So now, if you saw my TikTok, you realise I could not say this for the love of the money. So I'm going to give it one shot.
Because it does look like cheap a cab.
Yeah, but I'm going to attempt it once, and if I don't get it, I'm not going to do it again. Fiesta de Chupacabras. See,
that's the word. That's correct.
See, when I'm not looking at it, because I covered it up with my hand.
I can't read. I can't say it without reading it.
Yeah, if I read it don't work. So listen to you. What the hell? I'm not even bothered with that one. Visit a Latin American village where the legend of the creature see, because I'm reading it, Chupacabras, is celebrated with a colourful fiesta, and the streets are lined with the crimson blood of tourists like you and your amigos.
Yeah, so the idea of this house, I've been hearing other shows now, is we're the tourists and we're sacrificed from the people who live there because they don't want to be killed by the Chupacabras. I've just called it bras. I know that already. So we're the sacrifice, basically. Yeah. So they survive.
So what it is, you're not going to get attacked just by the Chupacabras. You're going to be attacked by the locals because your sacrifice stops them from being killed.
Yep. Sweet
so
as.
It's a good concept. So looking forward to that one. And then Bugs Eaten Alive. Now this one is freaking a lot of people out, and I understand why. But if you we won't get too many spoilers on this one, but go and listen to the podcast that they released, and the actual creators have said they were hoping people cannot get through this house.
I hate to say this, but I think there might be some changes to this because the one phobia they're talking about is a very it can really set people off. So I'm a bit worried about that.
But if there's a warning at the beginning of the house, it's entirely your choice to go through it.
Right, so let's have a read this. Why touring a 1950s home of the future? So obviously this is set back in the day, really, but it's meant to be saying what we should be like now. You'll be surrounded by slime of bugs everywhere as hordes of many-legged terrors descend upon you and your Scream Squad. You'll be dropping like flies.
Yeah, and we also got the confirmation that Sif will be in this house. And if you're wondering what Sif is, it's stuff in your face. So things will be touching you. It's not people, but things will be touching you while you're walking through the house.
Water, wind.
Yeah, little pieces of string makes you feel like bugs are crawling on you. It's a great. It's a cheap effect, but it's also a very good effect when it's done correctly.
Well, everybody knows I was looking forward to this house beforehand. I still think it's going to be slightly like a B movie. But they're bringing the scary bug stuff into it as well. So they've mashed both together, and I think that's perfect. Yeah. So this sounds very good. Then we move on to Hell Block Horror. I think this is it was the latest addition to the lineup because obviously we lost Evil Dead. So on this one, it says, as these monsters escape their prison, there's no escape for you. Enter a prison whose savage inmates are monstrous creatures
If they break free from their cells, it's a death sentence for everyone. This one is, I'm not going to spoil my hype list, but there's elements of this one that is making me really, really excited because they're saying they're not inmates, they are monsters. So I think this is going to be a massive homage to the past of all monsters, creatures that have been in Halloween Horror Nights in past. I think, but
don't they normally, when they bring one in the last second because something's dropped out, don't they usually go back to what's been in the past for Halloween Horror Night fans?
Yeah, they use Halloween lore, which is usually like some of the characters like body collectors, different things. It's just something easy, quick that they know works, they know it's actually great, so they'll just bring it together quite quickly. And obviously, sounds like it was a very quick addition. I'm still wondering which prison it's going to be, because usually Halloween Horror Nights use Hellgate prison for a lot of the stuff. Whether it's going to be Hellgate, I don't know.
Because that's saying Hell Block, so that's part of a prison.
It could be. There is some writing underneath behind that horror bit if you look at the picture, but I can't work out what it's actually saying.
Yeah, so a block, usually in terms of block of a prison, I haven't been to prison, people. It's a different sections of the prison. So this sounds like this would be the area for the monsters.
Yeah. So moving on to the next one. Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake. You're dead in the water. In the New England fishing village, undead fishermen emerge from the waves to seek their revenge. You and your Scream Squad, I really do hate that. I'm sorry, I really do hate
what Scream Squad is.
May have escaped the hooks in the zone, in the scare zone. Now they'll reel you in and drag you under. And this has been confirmed. This is a direct sequel to Dead Man's Wharf, the scare zone from 26.
Right, so would you like to explain to people what Dead Man's Wharf is, just in case they're newbies?
I never went. I didn't see it. So
I did, and people, you know what that means? I don't bloody remember.
Yeah. This is a direct sequel from Dead Man's Wharf. I never went. I know it was outside the Fast and Furious exit, which was a shipwreck coming out of the water onto that thing. So he was, but there we go, guys. What I was saying about Dead Man's Pier.
I do want to apologise if anything's gone wrong here. We've tried to fix it, so if it doesn't make sense, it sounds like a wicked one. Go and do it. Next one.
Next one. Descendants of Destruction. Deeper, darker, deadlier. Careful not to leave any of your Scream Squad behind you as you descend the subway tunnels of the distressed New York. Lurking in the dark are hungry mutants looking to feast on the last remnants of humanity. This one, I do believe, is kind of a 3-stage house.
Yeah.
So the first stage is like starting to go underground, and then you go deeper underground, and the mutants are even worse, and then the final one where it's pitch black.
Is this one leading on from a past thing as well on Halloween Horror Nights?
I don't know when underground, but that, I believe, is all the houses. So also, here we go. 5 scare zones. First one, horrors of Halloween. The Pumpkin Lord, the spirits of Halloween, has taken over this year's event, summoning hordes of fiendish creatures. Terror has taken root. The Pumpkin Lord is back. So people's rumours from him coming back from last year to this year are true, but it's coming in scare zone form.
Yeah, but we all know what you're looking forward to, what I'm not looking forward to seeing there.
Well, it's a certain little pumpkin. He's in the middle of the thing. So.
Little Boo, I'm just going to go, just Boo. I'm sorry, people. I know loads of you love him. To me, meh. I mean, this guy interests me more in him, the Pumpkin Lord. I mean, it's only a matter of time before. I know he's like the unofficial icon of this event. This just says to me in a few years' time, they're getting ready to hopefully make him a full-on icon. He seems to be getting more powerful year by year, story-wise, it looks like.
Yeah, so like I said, it's entirely up to you whether you call him an icon or not. It's everyone's choice. I'm not going to get into that debate because it can be very toxic with some people. Anyway, moving on to the next scare zone, we have Scarecrow, Cursed Soil. an abandoned farm, scarecrows have risen from the crust of the earth to hunt you and seek revenge. They'll harvest your screams. Yes, this is a direct sequel from Scarecrow the Reaping from 27. I'm going to probably disappoint. I'm going to really disappoint some people here. I don't remember that house at all. I've seen walkthroughs of it. Yeah, people rave about it. I cannot remember anything in that house. I've even watched walkthroughs of it in really good quality, to be fair, and I don't remember any of it.
Can I ask you a question as well? Is this the scare zone what's meant to be like an outside house as well?
Yes, they have confirmed they're building a massive barn in Central Park. My only concern about that is a bottleneck. Anyway, that's part of a schedule, especially when the show that we'll mention in a bit comes out, it feeds out. It's kind of, but we'll see. But they are building a big barn, and they've said if you don't want to do any houses, you will have to do a house to get through this scare zone because they're classing it as a house that's outside.
So officially, 10.5 houses.
Yeah, 10.5, or if you want to be pedantic, it is the 11th house that everyone's been screaming for. But next scare zone, the biggest scare zone of them all in the New York area, Sweet Revenge. The sweets from Major Sweets Candy Company have turned children into crazed killers. This Halloween's all trick, no treats, and total mayhem. Kids, candy, killers. What more can you ask for?
And it's going to be connected as well with the tribute store. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. Well, what it is, it's suppose it's 1950s again, or is it 1950? Yeah, there's a 1950s parade that's kind of gone wrong, and the kids have crazy killers, and I'm probably for it. Universal.
Oh, so you mean like London right now? Gotcha.
Yeah. But the thing is with Universal, when they actually what's the word? They employ child actors. They're not child, they're adults, and they look so good as being kids. And I think this is going to be back to the original scare zones that I know and love. Back before 25. After 25, they started to go downhill, and I'm hoping this is back the incline back upwards again. Fourth scare zone, we have Graveyard Deadly Unrest. This is the one that has been up on construction pictures for ages because it's.
This is also the one I think I accidentally didn't add to the picture for the show.
Anyway, well, not a problem. On All Hallows Eve, a dark storm descends upon the cemetery and awakens long dead spirits. No one living can escape them. And they're going all out with the scare zone with the set designs. It's literally taking up the whole of Hollywood. Now we understand why the Superstar Parade is gone, because that parade could not get through that scare zone with the amount of props that are out there. So kudos to Universal to start banging the scare zones out again. Then we have Conjure the Dark. Unfortunately, it's in one of the worst places to have a scare zone. The exit to Fast and Furious, because it's a massive bottleneck. But the little blurb does say, on the first All Hallows Eve, an evil sorceress called
Monstrosities.
Yeah, from dark demons. Now your blood will fuel them.
By the way, that's from Dark Dimensions.
Yeah, I can't. I told you I can't read what I'm saying. But this is Fast and Furious. It's usually a bottleneck, but they have got a big set piece, but they've set it a little bit further back to trouble help with that bottleneck. And it's witches and sorcerers. Sounds like
interesting. I've heard a few podcasts alluding to it being like Marvel. I can't say it.
Marvel.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange and Agatha and all them lot. Scarlet Witch.
They've already said that this is set well in the past. So, but yeah, maybe anyway.
Do you think some of these ones? I was going to say before we go right into this last bit. Do you think they're sat on some of the IPs they were hoping to get from a Netflix, and as they couldn't, they sort of changed them slightly and made them into their own? Do you think of Fear Street
I
with the
wouldn't say
witches
that.
and that?
I think they've gone for from what you've seen, they've released. They are going for the traditional Halloween, and I think they're trying to realise that they need to go back to the roots with the scare zones, because the scare zones for the last I'll say it, for the last 4 or 5 years have been crap. They're not scare zones. They're literally areas you walk through. There's a couple of scare actors you take a selfie with. They're not even scaring people. It's become a point where they're not scare zones. They're just areas to walk through. And looks like to me that they're starting to bring that back into, right, you're walking through here, we're going to scare you. We're going to try our best to get you. They tried it. Zombieland was a bit too comical. We never went.
Zombieland was rubbish.
I know, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's too comical. It wasn't. There was no scares in it. Seek and Destroy, I believe, tried to do it a little bit, but it just didn't work that well. But anyway, we'll talk about past events. Let's talk about this year's event, where we have got 2 live shows: Halloween Nightmare Fuel Wildfire. The show that sparked a firestorm last year is ablaze with a new nightmare. The pyro and aerial performers are back to reignite your fears.
Also, some of them were from England this year coming
Yes,
over, who were meant to be there
so.
last year.
If I am correct, I have actually seen these perform before. I'm sure they were at Farmageddon one year. So
my American friends, I've been waiting to say this. The British are coming.
If they do anything like what they do in the shows over here, it is very risky what they do. So whether they're going to go that route, I don't know. All I'll say is angle grinders involved, and the the show that is going to be on the lagoon. Everyone thought it was going to be
Marathon of Mayhem.
That's the one. And we haven't got that. We've got Ghoulish, A Halloween Tale. On Halloween night, a ghost story becomes reality as you go beyond the grave in a spectacular, spooky show on Universal Studios Lagoon. I'm so glad they've gone this way. They're trying to keep it different from what Marathon of Mayhem was. So I am actually quite.
It's really hard to tell because, as far as I know, it could just be a name change, but it could still be on the same thing. There is nothing else, by the way, there. So that is brilliant. Yeah. Yes and no. I'm excited. I'm not excited about a fire show. I'm not going to lie. It's not my type. It's not my cup of tea. I will go and watch it once.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely get to watch it at least once, and we'll take it from there. I don't know if you've done a hype list. I have actually done mine. We'll quickly go through mine from number 10 down to 1. Number 10, probably no surprise. It's Horrors of Blumhouse. It just doesn't. It's going to be one of them houses. This one might upset a lot of people. But number 9, I've gone for Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake. I've got no affiliation to it. I never saw anything in the scare zone, so I don't know what to expect. Then number 8, I've got The Weekend After Hours Nightmare. Another thing, I've never done a music house. So, well, to be honest, I don't think anyone's done a music house before. But yeah, that's number 8. Number 7, I've got Festival the Chupacabras. I'm looking forward to all these houses. Don't get me wrong. It's just that this is the order I'm looking forward to them. And then number 6, I've got the Halloween, because I've never done Halloween. I've never done a Halloween house. In all the years I've gone to Halloween Horror Nights, I have never done one. Then I've got, this probably be no surprise, but most of mine are originals. Number 5, I've got Spirits of the Coven, because I like witches. I like the classic Halloween. Then number 4, this probably surprised people that this is as low as it probably is, but Descendants of Destruction. That's my number 4. I'm looking forward to that. Then we've got number 3, Universal Monsters Legends Collide. A lot of people would probably have thought that would be my number 1, but it's not number 1, because after listening to the Universal podcast, I had to put these 2, and these 2 are interchangeable between 1 and 2. These number 2, but I put Bugs Eaten Alive number 2 because Hellblock Horror has me intrigued of what their monsters are, and I like prisons, and I loved the house run from Halloween Horror Nights 25, and that was prison house. So I'm looking forward to these. So that's my hype list. Yeah. Well, like I say, these are what we're anticipating. To be honest, and I'm going to enjoy them all. It's just that we have to. When you want to do a hype list, you've got to put them in order. To be honest, this could change tomorrow. It's
Does
how hype
anybody,
lists are.
if Simon, if you go on a podcast with Simon, if he asks you to go on his podcast, make sure you got your hype list ready because he's probably going to ask you the question without telling you he's going to do it.
Well, you spring stuff on me and decides to get my revenge. Talk about revenge. That is my most anticipated Scare Zone. Sweet Revenge. I really am looking forward to that.
Meh.
It's
I
going back to the original.
really. I just
It's going
think the
back to the
space is
original
going to be
Scare
too
Zones that I
big.
grew up with. Sorry, no,
I'm the difference. I don't like the supersized one. The Scarecrow Curse Soil. Now that interests me. An outside house. That's really got me intrigued.
yeah. Well, Sweet Revenge is the one for me because that'll be the one where I'll probably grab a beer, sit down, and watch people get scared out of their mind by little kids running around.
Well, it won't be kids. It'll be small people.
Yeah, it was small adults. We know that, but they'll still be dressed as kids.
And the shows, it's just ghoulish and Halloween style. As I said, I've never. It's not so much about the show itself. Halloween's Nightmare for Your Wife. I don't care about it. It's because I hate the stalls in what used to be formerly Fear Factor.
Yeah.
I find it so uncomfortable in there, and it's too hot. And
Yeah.
what I've heard from Jess on HM365, it gets super hot in there, and I'm not going to enjoy that if it's super hot.
Yeah. Well, it's already super hot, and now they're calling it wildfire. So you now get is a fire show with more fire.
But can I just say though, people who think I've just been really negative overall as an event this year, 6 weeks ago I wasn't excited. Now out of 10, I'm an 11. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. This is what I've been screaming for since 25, because 26 was very IP heavy. 27 was, and the originals stood out. 28, the IP stood out more than the originals, and 29 was a mixture of both. 29 was a mixture of both, and the Scare Zones were just very lackluster.
I'm not going to lie.
Right down.
And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't jealous of 30 that we couldn't make it. I was upset that I couldn't make it, but I wasn't jealous as an event. I thought it looks like a weaker one to me.
Well, I don't want to make an opinion on it because we didn't experience it for live. We just experienced it through YouTube. So, but this year is looking a lot more traditional for Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, if you're going around about the same time as us, if you're watching this, you know what we look like. Just come and say hello. We're fine. We're not these ones going to bite your head off for stopping us.
I am about a week before we go. I am going to be putting some pictures up of all three of us. Mm-hmm. I know you're thinking why I say all three. Scars just still counted, mate. So Simon, do you want to read the first one? I think you said you wanted to read the Facebook group ones, didn't you? Because the other one's super long. If you can I can read them all if you want. Right. So the first one we've got. So I asked in my Endless Summer Resort unofficial group. Cannot wait to record this Friday bumper episode of Horror Nights, and it was going to be Hallow Screams as well. Tell us what you think of the announcements. We'll read them out on the podcast. So the first one was David Elliott. None of the houses are a standout. Was quite shocking, but that's his choice. Just looking forward to doing them all. Had hoped Stranger Things and Last of Us would have been there. Also excited about doing Hallow Scream at SeaWorld for the first time. Thing I'm happiest about is just being able to go to Florida again after the last couple of years. September can't come quick enough. Anything to say about that?
No, it's just nice that people are looking forward to SeaWorld as well. Because obviously we've not had the chance to experience it. It was an inaugural year yesterday.
I do wonder if people get excited by Stranger Things if they did the first house but not the second one. Because the second one, when it happened, I'm like, I love Stranger Things, but the second one was
to be honest, the love for Stranger Things, I do get it. I understand it, and I was a bit gutted. We lost the possible contract with it, but there is better concepts out there than Stranger Things. Sorry, people, but there's better. I think this year will prove that they don't need these massive big franchises like Stranger Things.
I
The
personally
Weeknd
think
to make this event
I
great.
personally think they'll be back. I think this is a one-off. I think they've had a few problems this year, and I think
Yeah.
you'll see loads next year. We got, is it Daria Al? AL? Can't wait to see.
Yeah, Daria Al. Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to see Weekend and Bugs Eaten Alive. Yep, I get Bugs Eaten Alive totally. The Weekend, that is the kids one. I think it's still going to be an absolute excellent house. I think it's going to be my top 4 personally, but and I wasn't looking forward to that, when I first heard about it. But I feel like he's someone, and because he's so into the horror genre, he won't want this house to fail because it's representing him as well, and he's a big artist. So,
well, supposedly, according to the podcast, they've actually really worked really closely with the Weeknd to get this house the way he wants it. And don't forget, he is a fan of the event, so hopefully he likes it the way we like it, so we can get to see a house that is great.
And just want to say thank you, Craig Willicks. I really should have made Simon read this, but here we go.
Well, I can read if you want. I have actually got this one up.
Let's go for it, guys. We've got a nice long one from Craig. Craig, if he mucks up, we can now take the mickey out of him.
Yeah, because I have actually pre-read this, so hopefully I'll get it right. This Craig Willicks writes, as we said, he writes this. The announcements on Tuesday have really got me excited for the event. Each house has a great concept, but they are all so different. It's great. It's going to be difficult to put them in an order for a hype list, but just now, the 2 I'm most excited for are Dead Man's Pier and Chupacabras. I think both these houses are going to be absolutely stunning. Scare zones sound amazing, particularly the Scarecrow one. So I will make sure I spend plenty of time in them, as I tend to focus more on the houses. That one might be a bit of a bottleneck for you, so yeah, you can spend a bit of time, but don't spend too much time because it will get crowded. But never mind. It sounds like a nice twist with the Lagoon show telling a story rather than it just being different clips of IPs, etc. I guess they have to do this given there's so few IPs this year.
Got a point there. That's probably why it's changed the
Marathon
IPs.
and Mayhem only really had Stranger Things,
Universal Monsters, and Ghostbusters.
It goes to only had 3 IPs anyway. There's actually technically 3 IPs this year.
Yeah, but you look at the IPs. The Weekend probably cost too much to put in that. I wouldn't be surprised though. Saying that,
it might have music.
Yeah, I was about to say. I wouldn't be surprised if it's his music in this, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's him telling the story.
Possibly. I don't know whether he would have had an influence into it or not. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that looks fun.
The thing is, I suppose he's got a point as well with it, because the Universal Monsters were in the first one. Were they in the second one?
I haven't watched the second one, so I don't know.
So it makes you wonder if, don't want them again and again, do you?
So that's really it, guys. That's the full Halloween Horror Nights reveal. Well, you know everything. The only thing we don't really know yet are food and drinks. But there is a little thing I did notice today. This is hot off the press. There is a Chucky shirt out for this year. Yeah, I thought exactly the same.
They're so obsessed by Chucky though. Every time I go, Chucky's there now. I mean, but they don't do it properly.
There's a house with Chucky on it.
Can I do
got 2022? Can
I do an old person's rant? We can't do Chucky properly anymore because everyone gets their feelings hurt too easy this day and age. So he can't be the Chucky you want him to be.
That is the problem with Chucky now. Yeah, that is the problem with Chucky these days. He's not PG, and a lot of people like things to be PG.
This should be an R-rated
event.
So. I think some people have just got to understand these. So on my soapbox, I get annoyed with the people who show up and then start scream at scare actors for scaring them. I don't get it. What are you there for?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you paid your money to be scared. You know what you're walking into. It's not like you haven't done any research and you're just buying a ticket on the whim and going into the event. Well, actually, that's what I did in 2008. But
all right,
no, I think we'll end this one. So if you could do us a favor, guys, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell notification on YouTube, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or any podcast app you actually listen to this on. Give us a rating if you can. Follow us on Twitter at Epic Haunts. Follow us on Instagram at Epic Haunts as well, I think. And
It
we
would have
are
been.
down with the kids.
It
We
would.
are
It
down
would
with
have
the
been
kids as well,
easier.
don't forget.
Let me show you how to do this really simple. People follow us on everything. Epic Haunts.
I'm just trying to do it professionally. I wanted to say we're down with the kids because we've got a TikTok.
Professionally, us. Seriously, people are probably
Well, with
scratching
your
their
internet at
eyes
the
out
moment,
tonight.
with your internet, it's definitely. With your
Well,
internet, definitely.
As
not.
we say, I figured out it's not the bloody internet because I've got full bars,
Yeah,
so
so
it's clearly Zoom. And
there is an option out there. So we'll try and sort these fixes out for the next show. But yeah, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, everybody, quite frankly, I'm only joking when I take a look at the event. I'm looking forward to it more than ever this year. I'm going to be happy to be back. As Simon says, come and say hi to us. Who you see in there. If you disagree with what I've just said about some of the houses, please tell me. I'm hoping to be wrong. The time we get to the event, knowing El Chupacabra, I said it, it could actually be my number one by the end of the event. Pretty much be epic.
Stay spooky.
And this was a cluster mark of an episode.